The Nigerian film industry calls them pirates.
Yeah, this is Lagos.
Criminals who steal movies and sell them on the street. But those same pirates built Nollywood into a $5 billion empire. 2 million people pass through the market every single day. $4 billion a year, almost entirely off the books. Teenage boys once slept in a swamp to protect this place. This is Alaba International Market. And right now, Alaba is under threat like never before. Government demolitions of buildings, e-commerce platforms stealing customers, and traffic so bad, people arrive after the market has already closed. Alaba has survived everything before, but this time might be different. April 18, 1978, 13 young Igbo traders arrive at a stretch of swampy land in Ojo on the outskirts of Lagos. The leader among them was Chief Christopher Chika Ojokorom. When he saw the land for the first time, he turned to the others and said, "This place is not fit for human habitation, let alone business." But they had no choice. They had just been forced out of Alaba Suru near Mile 2. The government said they were causing traffic problems. Preparations were underway for Festac 77. The National Stadium was nearby. The traders had to go. What they arrived to instead was worse. No roads, no electricity, no water. And the most dangerous of all, armed hoodlums controlled the area. Anyone who tried to set up shop was robbed. So the traders made a decision no government would ever approve. They sent their apprentices to sleep there. Teenage boys, some as young as 14, slept in the swamp every night, unarmed, no security, no police. They were not just guarding goods, they were sending a message. This land is claimed. If those boys ran, the market died. Slowly the hoodlums moved on, but survival was only the first problem. The 13 founders knew something else. You cannot build a market alone. So they went to Jankara Market, the biggest electronics market in Lagos at that time, and they started recruiting. They asked established traders to abandon safe, profitable shops and move to a swamp at the edge of the city. It sounds irrational, but it worked. Throughout the 1980s, traders arrived in waves. They built their own roads, their own clinic, 2 churches and a mosque, St. Patrick Catholic Church, St. Peter's Anglican Church, Alaba Central Mosque. But here is what almost killed the whole thing. In the mid-1980s, Nigerian austerity measures shut down imports across the country. Manufacturing capacity dropped from 73% to 38%. Import licenses became nearly impossible to get. Then someone figured out how to use the Benin border. Alaba's location between Apapa Port and Benin border suddenly became its greatest advantage. Goods that couldn't come through official channels came through unofficial ones. Within months, parallel trade routes were flowing and Alaba kept growing. By 1990, Alaba was the largest electronic market in Nigeria. By 2000, the largest in West Africa. Today, over 10,000 merchants operate there, around 30,000 shops and stores, roughly 100,000 people earn their living directly from Alaba, and up to 1 million customers pass through daily. But these numbers hide the real engine. Alaba runs on a system older than Nigeria itself. It is called Igbaboy, the Igbo apprenticeship system. In 2018, American journalist Robert Newett called it the largest business incubator platform in the world. Here is how it works. A teenage boy arrives from southeastern Nigeria to serve a master trader, not as an employee, as an apprentice. 5 to 7 years he works without salary. He lives in the shop, he learns the trade, then something unusual happens. When the apprenticeship ends, the master settles him, gives him startup capital, inventories, and sometimes a shop. Madu Abuchi-Aduku, the public relations officer of Alaba's Market Association, went through this exact journey. He arrived at 18, right after secondary school. That was 34 years ago. He describes what makes Alaba different. This is the only place where you come with nothing and leave with something. 80% of traders here started as apprentices. Think about what that creates. Every successful trader is incentivized to train the next generation. A master who settles his apprentices well attracts better apprentices. His former apprentices become his supply chain, his allies, his extended business network. In September 2025, Anambra State formally recognized this system by law. Alaba has been running it informally for nearly 50 years. Now scale that up. 10,000 merchants, each training the next generation. This is the beating heart of Nigeria's informal economy. But the same system that built Alaba also created something else. This system created billionaires. It also created criminals. So far, this looks like a success story. 13 men built an empire, thousands lifted out of poverty, the largest market in West Africa. But there is a darker side to this story. For 20 years, Alaba was synonymous with one word, pirates, and the violence that came with it almost burned the market down. In 2014, filmmaker Gbenga Adewusi received a tip. His film Apala Disco has been pirated at Alaba International Market. He needed to see this with his own eyes, so he went to the market with his manager, Afolabi Agunjobi, and actress Remi Oshodi. The investigation took a dark turn. Pirate pounced on them, Adewusi suffered arm and leg injuries, Ogunjobi left with a black eye, Oshodi was stabbed in the hand. That was just one story. In 1982, comedy legend Baba Salah lost everything after pirates stole the master tape of Orumoru. He had financed the film with a bank loan using his houses as collateral. Pirates illegally screened it across Nigeria. Baba Salah went bankrupt. He sold his properties to settle the debt. The experience devastated his career. In 2015, Kunle Afolayan found his award-winning film, October 1, being sold on Lagos streets before he had even released it on DVD. By the early 2000s, over 70% of Nollywood's physical sales were pirated. Almost all of it flowed through Alaba. The Nigerian Copyright Commission raided the market multiple times through the 2000s, impounding millions of naira worth of pirated discs. Stories like this make it easy to call Alaba the villain. That was 2004. 20 years later, the piracy has moved from DVDs to Telegram channels, from Alaba to the internet. When Toyi Abraham's films Malaika was pirated in 2024, it wasn't marketers at Alaba anymore, it was website, Telegram channels, streaming links shared to millions overnight. The medium changed, but the damage remained the same. Abraham says she spent 500 million on the film. She opened a Telegram link and saw it there, free for anyone to watch. But here is the uncomfortable question no one asks. If Alaba had been shut down in 1990s, would Nollywood even exist today? Because at that time, there was no streaming platform, no cinema chains. Alaba provided our distribution. Producers sold films to Alaba marketers for lump sum. Within days, copies spread across Nigeria. Within weeks, across West Africa, Ghana, Togo, Benin, Sierra Leone. The producer got less per unit, but the film got seen by millions. Film scholar Jonathan Hines put it simply, Nollywood began in the market. Today, Nollywood is worth over $5 billion. Netflix licenses Nigerian films. Hollywood pays attention. International film festivals compete for Nigerian content. And the audience that made that possible was built largely by same Alaba traders the industry once called criminals. That contradiction defines Alaba. The same informal system that enabled piracy also enabled innovation. The same traders who undercut creators also created a market for those creators to exist. But piracy is not what will kill Alaba. In June 2023, Lagos State Building Control Agency demolished 17 buildings inside the market. Officials cited safety concerns. Traders saw a warning. They remember 1977. They remember being removed for traffic reasons. They remember someone else later taking the land. In October 2025, another fire gutted an entire section of the market. Millions in merchandise destroyed. The government point to genuine safety concerns. Most Alaba traders are Igbo, an ethnic group from southeastern Nigeria operating in Lagos, which is predominantly Yoruba. Some believe the demolitions are not about safety, they believe it's about politics and about who controls valuable land. While the government's master list of 349 buildings is public, the Alaba list remains a ghost. Traders say they have counted at least 43 more structures marked for demolition. The Lagos-Badagry Expressway, the main road to Alaba, has been under construction for years. Traders describe customers leaving home at dawn and arriving 6 hours later after the market has already closed. Containers of goods topple on pothole-ridden roads, destroying entire shipments. Meanwhile, e-commerce is rising. Jumia, Konga, click instead of traffic. Some traders have adapted, but every trader going digital, there are dozens who cannot. dozens who built their entire livelihood around face-to-face negotiation, instant cash transactions, and the trust that comes from looking someone in the eye before you buy. And here is the ticking clock. If Alaba does not evolve fast, it risks being erased unless something changes, and it might already be changing. 2 hours east of Lagos is Nnewi. In 1970, it looked like Alaba looks now. Stalls, imports, middlemen. In 2025, Innoson Vehicle Manufacturing employs 3,000 people. Cortex produces electrical cables for West Africa. Chikason Group makes motorcycle parts. 70% of IVM's car parts are now made locally. The traders became industrialists. They call it Japan of Africa. The timeline, 40 years from traders to manufacturers. Alaba is 47 years. The traders in Alaba see that number and they're asking, why are we not in Nnewi yet? Now look back at Alaba. 10,000 merchants, decades of supply relationship, distribution network across West Africa. Nigeria imports over $12 billion in electronic every year. Televisions, phones, generators, solar panels, all of it from China. $12 billion flowing out of the country every single year. And the traders are asking a very important question. Why are we still making China rich? Some are already assembling products locally, quietly, informally, exactly how Nnewi began.